Welcome, beautiful nerds, welcome, Blimpy, to the After Hours Gaming League. By virtue of tuning in, I assure you, you look so fine today. We're watching Microsoft versus National Instruments in a battle purely for fun that we'll pretend is in fact serious competition. Up in the top corner, from Team Microsoft, it's Memcopy, I assume. Down in the bottom corner, from Team National Instruments, it's Doomsday. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, competition is actually quite fun, especially when no one's taking it at ultra-serious levels. It's fun at the serious level too, but my god, sometimes I go out bowling and I'm blown away when I break 100. I know, impressive. Now the map's gonna be heavy rain. It can be quite a pain to do much of anything. All of a sudden I want to do some sort of pun where the, I don't know, the heavy rain in Spain stays mainly by the plains or something along those lines. Don't worry, by Fun Day Monday, I'll have a joke and a punchline figured out. I'll feel good. It looks like Doomsday is doing a typical pylon expand. This map can be a little bit problematic for those mid-game assaults, because as you can see, there's this big old path down the middle, but there is 2-1 on the left and on the far right, all of which is divided by these impassable cliffs, so players have to plan out quite strongly where they want to go. The wonderful folks who are observing live right now tell me that Memcopy is probably to do with C programming, and they're totally taking assaults at my nerd cred. Apologies, I generally do JavaScript and CoffeeScript and anything that Unity or other programming game interfaces will accept. Doomsday goes ahead and scouts the natural and finds an overlord pretending to be a decoy. Doomsday not gonna fall for it. He's patrolling as best he can. And Memcopy's gonna get up in there and successfully lands down. No errors planting the hatchery, but we do have a very early forge. Oh my god, is he going to go straight cannoning? Is he going to expand? Okay, he's going to expand. I thought we were going to be watching something similar to Haz versus Jadong, where we get to see a pylon cannon attack that works versus the second place world player, Jadong. Memcopy's going for a rather early extractor. It's going to be a 3-minute and 20-second extractor. I think that's a very good play. He's going to be getting that gas up very early. Doomsday cutting a little bit of a corner based upon what he sees getting a gateway before a cannon. Absolutely bold play, and the probe manages to pull the lings in the wrong direction. A single ling's going to advance forward. A single ling is never a threat. An army of one has never been much of a big deal unless you're watching Jack Bauer. Doomsday is going to guard the front with a worker. No big deal. Pretty commonplace in America. Doomsday is going to try to skedaddle himself home, but I'm not going to lie. I'm very Oh, the gas got canceled. The mind games today. Uh-oh. Looks like there's not really that much of an issue, as he didn't scout the gas in the first place. So it looks like a little bit of indecision. Look at that timing. Oh, Ihan timing. Pro manages to get home. Zergling manages to get gone. Memcopy gonna move out. Check out what's up. Double gas done. Usual planning is gonna be en route for Protoss. The Zerg has the usual smorgasbord of concerns. Am I up against an Immortal Sentry all-in, a Gateway all-in, a Stargate all-in, a 3-base all-in? Yes, when Zergs want to complain, they'll simply append all-in to any strategy. How do I deal with a player that goes 4-base, delay until he gets Infestor Broodlord all-in? A difficult question to answer indeed, because it's a collection of words, not necessarily a whole thought. Doomsday's chrono boosting. He's getting a very early third gas geyser. What can he do with all that gas? Beano might solve the problem, but I don't think the Zerg race can build that. It's likely going to be some sort of Stargate or Sentry emphasis play. Ground weapons level 1 en route. Very much so going to be expecting sentries with this much gas and that much mineral investment in the +1. Could also be a Twilight Council tech. We just don't know, but I still have a pretty damn good idea because I've watched nearly 10,000 games of StarCraft 2. Memcopy continuing to inject larvae, getting his little post 6-minute Gas, Roach Warren en route. This is a map. Oh my god, look at this gorgeous scout positioning. Overlords at the extreme angles where it's unlikely for anti-air units to be. Zerglings in all the closer areas. They're a little bit more tricky to monitor. Ooh, looks like it will in fact be the Stargate play. There's the sentry coming out with the +1. This tells me an expand is in the works for Doomsday. Upgrades are a late game centered thing, unless you're going for a timing push. And with a Stargate, that kills the opportunity for a timing push. So everything to me says late game. I would anticipate Void Rays and third base coming up. Oh, Memcopy is going to do some copycat moves from the main base. 2 gas, that seemed good. Control-C, Control-V. That's probably not how Memcopy works, but by God, I can communicate to the lay person. Beod Ray en route, rallied to an overlord that's going to scout himself, dying very soon. Mama Ship Core scouting left and right and doing everything that feels appropriate. 4th gas also down. Gonna almost certainly be +1 armor and a third base. Clairvoyance kicking in. I can feel it in my bones and in my knees, but that might be because I've sprained them. Memcopy adding in 2 evolution chambers. Looking to perhaps do something. Perhaps something TLO-ish. Perhaps something his TLO would do. Perhaps he's planning on going Roach Hydra. I'm not really that confident. It could very well be melee upgrades. It will be ranged, which makes me feel nice. But again, both those options are quite reasonable. Whoa, what is Doomsday doing? Oh, what? Whoa. And a robo. Whoa! Ladies and gentlemen, can I get a whoa? Whoa. And more Void Rays. This is a very, very funky play. What's going to happen automatically is the Zerg player is going to have to answer Hydralisk Den or some other form of immediate anti-air. Doomsday, building the Void Rays, poses a big threat unless Memcopy does that. So upon forcing his opponent to go for Hydralisks, Doomsday can answer in kind by going for Colossus, getting up some general forces. Sometimes on maps like this where the third base is wide open, the Protoss player will go, you know, double shucksy shucks. I'm just a little bit afraid to rely on Void Rays. I will get 5 gateways and an Immortal because Roaches can be built in large numbers. So an extreme safe play might also be the choice for Doomsday. Otherwise, I'm rather confused. He could throw down some gateways and go for an all-in, but it's a less efficient means of doing so. Now Memcopy is getting, ooh, speed for Hydras. Ooh, speed for Roaches. The calf upgrades for all his major damage dealers. He's going to be able to do some serious assaulting, which might do some serious salty response from Doomsday, such as the GG. There's that +1 armor, everything for Doomsday in line, in time. Colossus will be Thermal Lance, Supply Block. Does he really want to expand now? Really? I mean, it honestly looks like Doomsday is playing ultra safe. At this point in time, Doomsday has not even gotten particularly good scouting intel. I mean, he's assumed that there is a third base, but he doesn't yet know it. More Void Rays coming out. Everything Doomsday has is very anti-Roach, but he's going to struggle versus the Hydras. Oh, watch a woo! The double wall. A third base in a fairly uncommon location, but it's much easier to defend. 1 choke, 1 big choke, but really this is the area that Protoss needs to be in, so with a very safe positioning, Doomsday looks like he is feeling safe enough, and very, 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 very difficult spot for Doomsday to be in because he needs to come out at the right angle. He's decided now is the time. He's thrown down the Time Warp. Where is that Colossus? Get there with your gangliness, friend. The Ultra Mega Charge up on the Void Ray, warping in of Stalkers. 1-1 versus 1-1. Zerg units are streaming in. Memcopy's going to be able to take out the Void Rays, possibly, but man, that Colossus is doing some sick work, and it is a rally play from Memcopy, who doesn't yet know his opponent has a third. That can be a devastating blow. Really, this is going to be the key linchpin move for Doomsday. If he can get down the third base, he's going to be in good shape. 5 sentries coming down. Wow. In Protoss Costco's, you can get 5 packs. An unusual decision. But it's fueling the wartime maneuvers of our National Instruments Protoss well. Spire coming up as well. 6th gas. Spine crawlers. Will it also be another base? Or another base up here? We don't know yet. Would be a very reasonable play, but I just think that Zerg doesn't know. Oh, Zerg. Great mind to think for that, or to search for that third, but it's a little late. Notice, recognize. Oh my god, the worst feeling in the world. You know what? I'm gonna go ahead and check for expansions. And then you find a finished expansion with cannons and the geysers are done and you're like, oh dude, this feels so bad. Oh my god. Unreal, unreal bad luck. That's much like being 5 minutes from being done with your class period. You've been done with your exam for 30 minutes and then you realize that it had a backside that you haven't even started. And Memcopy is going to try to fill in C's all the way down, but it's not going to be a good plan for him. Even the Scantron can detect that he was underprepared. Oh, those expensive, pricey Hydras turn into ash on the ground, but look at this. A Zergling counterattack goes into the main, and the natural, but some fantastic cannon placement from Doomsday is there to shut it down. Multi-pronged attacks, trying to fork any advantage that they can. Oh, he could have killed it and killed the warp in, but 1A does prioritize units over buildings. The power of Protoss! The power of probes. The power of probes. The power of... Really everything's going just fine, Doomsday. Did he just have too many probes? How did these become part of the... Okay, they're going back home. The power of probes! It looks like Doomsday is beginning to move at the most vulnerable angle. The thin choke to the juicy third. A 4th base from Memcopy in a very, very difficult to defend position. Couple scattered roaches, couple scattered overlords, getting ready to sacrifice their lives. Wow, that Zergling running in the main is dealing massive damage. Doomsday isn't even mining. He has 29 of 20, 32 of 24 workers here. Oh. In the APM tab, we see some APM for our Protoss player, but I guarantee his heart is pounding. He can hardly deal with the amount of adrenaline in his system. Feels like he's skydiving, blind with no hands, and maybe has a parachute, but he couldn't pull the cord if he wanted to. So that is how he feels internally. Swarm host coming up. If at first you don't succeed, swarm hosts. Some probes also beginning to join the battle again. It looks like a Control 1 went awry at some point in his past. Colossi battling up together. Coloxin, I suppose, is the plural I used when I first began casting. More gateways, more forges, more upgrades. +2/+2 for you. Very nice spine crawler wall from Memcopy, looking very prone to begin a a ever so scary swarm host push to this side. Now, we've never really seen a Protoss beat swarm hosts, according to Reddit. Heyo! So we'll see if Doomsday from National Instruments down 0-1 will be the first Protoss player ever to defeat the swarm host. Locusts typically spawn with an infinite amount of damage and hit points. Much like that one weird boss in Chrono Trigger that's guaranteed to kill you every single time. I reset my Super Nintendo because I didn't know you were supposed to let it kill you. Very hard. We see looks like another quartet of swarm hosts lose their lives. Drone get transferred to the top. Memcopy looks like he is in nice position. Another Nexus en route. Cannons, cannons, cannons. When you cannon rush yourself, we call it defense. It's a little bit of a message for our North American Grandmasters. Wait a minute! Doomsday has neglected to fill a geyser. This one and this one each have 1 in it. These have 3. Oh my god, he has almost no gas income. In the gas income tab. He doesn't even have any gas to play with. The Beano Protoss Doomsday. He has absolutely no gas. Will his Void Ray flanks work well? I don't even know if you can flank with a Void Ray. But there you go. He's drilling. He's going for it. He sees the opportunity. Some probes who traitorously entered Control Group 1 move forward. Doomsday charges up the Void Rays. Wow, look at those force fields! Oh my gosh. In the spirit of 1990s, Doomsday says, talk to the hand. Throwing up a line of force fields, talk to the force fields. Mcrosoft falls apart. His non-zero number of swarm hosts remains closer and closer to zero by the moment. Doomsday storms forward. Everything begins to run. Doomsday looking so good. Line that up with 2-2. 3-3 incoming for Mcrosoft, but it's going to take quite some time. A counterattack from Mcrosoft at the third. These Zealots don't have charge. SK Telecom Rain would be a shame, but MC is proud of the fact that this giant Stalker heavy, Gateway heavy army has rocked through the front line of defenses, annihilating the third base. And will they be able to pick up the precarious counterattack? The Hydra, Roach, single Corruptor army, avoid... Oh my god, the answer might very well be very no. Mcrosoft falling apart. Broodlords! Oh, Mcrosoft! Using the ultimate Wings of Liberty strategy. Any number of Broodlords with anything else. Swarm Host dies above ground, which feels very, very weird. Doomsday absolutely ripping apart every line of defenses. Spotted this juicy free base. And being a lover of free things, Doomsday says, I'll take it. He's getting greedy. Oh god, spine crawlers unburrowed, swarm hosts unburrowed. That feels just as bad as being in a public restroom and realizing that there is in fact no more toilet paper. A true feeling of helplessness where you know that wherever you go, you'll have to do it slowly and carefully. Mcrosoft in the south position, electing to take an extremely dicey third. Extremely dicey fourth. But the only fourth he feels comfortable taking. Charge. Air weapons. Storm. +3. The other +3. Everything going in Doomsday's favor. He indeed is being a bastion of 1A Protoss. He's not even 1A. He's 1AG. FFFFF. Force fields, baby. And he might even control 0R and recall home. We don't know yet. Swarm host popping out. Little spine crawlers getting ready to burrow. Assumedly getting ready to burrow. Get into position with 12 seconds to burrow. The Void Rays turn themselves on and turn me on. Ripping down the front line of everything for Colossus. Oh, a blink directly underneath. Not gonna go as well for the Stalkers. Their numbers begin to dwindle almost immediately, but my god, the unit count for National Instruments Doomsday is too great! GG! Tying it up. Doomsday, Doomsday, Doomsday. Playing extremely cautiously, swatting aside every single maneuver from Mcrosoft as though it were mere fly. Zzz. And marking down a win for him and his team. Tied 1-1 Microsoft. The champions of After Hours Gaming League Season 1. The crushers of National Instruments 4-0 in the previous season. Will they be able to pull a lead in Game 3, or will National Instruments begin to tease the idea of a win? Stay tuned when we come back for Game number 3. Things are going to continue to kick ass. God, you look very, very beautiful today, viewer. There you go.